In one of my earlier videos, you have studied the workability of LC part 1. Now we'll study part 2. In first part we have covered 5 points, and this part we will be covering another 5 points. Installment shipments. Firstly, the bank should always check whether installment shipments are required in that LC, or because that poses a higher risk to the banks once the installment shipments are there. Then it must explain to the customer that when he is asking for installment shipments, what all clauses need to be included in that LC. What will happen if one of the installment is not fulfilled by the beneficiary? Then will the LC continue, or will it discontinue for the further installments? Means this is also covered in UCP article 32, but this needs to be clarified with the applicant. These articles are covered separately in separate videos as such. This workability problem always arises in transferable credits. Means the credit is transferable but partial shipments are not allowed. Then how can it be transferable? Then as a banker we need to check whether transferable LC is really required, and if required then partial shipment clause is available or not. We need to explain to the applicant the risks involved in the transferable credits, also to the bank and also to the applicant. We will cover it separately in sub-article 38, UCP article 38. Abbreviations. Now what are abbreviations? Means horizontal lines, vertical lines, and or virgules, means these crossed lines, slanting lines. These are normally given by the applicant in the application form. Now we need to understand the exact meaning. Why has he given it? Example. Now certificate of origin must be issued by Beni/Chamber of Commerce. Now does he mean that Beni and Chamber of Commerce, or Beni and then authenticated by Chamber of Commerce? Because ISBP says something separate. This means and or, means either Beni and Chamber, and Beni or Chamber of Commerce. Anything. Insurance may be issued by company agent. Does he mean to say that company's agent? Because this means that company or agent. That's what ISBP says. We'll look at that. ISBP says such marks should not be used, and if they are used, they will allow for one or more options. Example, red, black, blue, oblique. It means either red or black or blue or any combination of them. That is the meaning. Means even it can be red and black, black and blue, red and blue. So that means these should be avoided, and if they are taken, then there should be a clear meaning which should be mentioned in that LC. Similarly for commas, when they are used to indicate a range of data, for example in port of loading or discharge, if it should be clearly mentioned what is a port of loading or discharge, what is required. Example, if it's written Hamburg, Rotterdam, Antwerp with no further clarification, then it can mean either Hamburg or Rotterdam or Antwerp, or a combination of any of them, because in many countries the places are named by one or another name. So the bank, in the issuing bank gets confused because it doesn't know all the countries, all the ports. It gets confused. So there should be a clarity in this. It should not, whenever any range of data is used. Ambiguous terminology like shipping documents, tail documents, third party documents. UCP doesn't understand all these. There should be a clear meaning to whatever applicant wishes to say regarding this. Bank should encourage the additional terminology to provide a clarity in meaning. Documents issued or countersigned by applicant. We must explain to the applicant that Beni will definitely reject this condition, and even if then he insists, then we must check our internal guidelines. So that was it regarding workability. You can check both the videos to get the complete idea. You can also get with explanations question bank from yuvaguru.com. You can download this app from Play Store to get all these videos plus job openings plus online tests, etc.